All right. Can you hear us?
Yeah, you sound great.
Can you hear this broad?
I can hear that broad.
Call me a broad.
All right. You want to? Well, there's my beanie. Fuck yeah.
Oh, you weren't wearing that?
No.
Why is this? You have a big ass head.
You know what I do?
Look at how stretched out this is.
I stretch them out. I grab them and
Jesus.
I pull them as hard as I can because I don't like them to be like, they like slowly creep up my head. If I don't.
You have a big ass head.
That's what she said.
Damn.
Right. Do you want
Moving
to?
on.
You want to count us in?
Sure. 3, 2, 1, go.
Holy fucking moly, Batman!
Cheers.
Woo.
Welcome to another episode of Necro Electric. This is, as requested, a solo episode.
Requested.
It's the dream team today.
Woo.
We've had a guest for every episode for hella days.
Yeah.
Hella.
And we got a list of guests for hella more days.
Hella days.
We popular, y'all.
Before we get started, we are going to try to get 1 million bajillion subscribers. And to do this, you have to have friends of the podcast. So this week is my buddy and yours, music video director Mike TM.
What up, fellow degenerates? This is Mike TM here. Just saying hello to all you guys at the Necro Electric podcast. We got the 1 million subscriber goal, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, but don't just hit like and subscribe. You need to share also. Hit that share button, send it to your slutty mom, your uncles, your aunts, your grandmothers, your dog walkers, every cat in existence. Share. Are you sharing now? You can pause the video and share. Just make sure you share.
Are you done? Do it now.
Do it now! Now!
Sup, Mike?
Sup.
Sup.
What's up, you bastard? All right.
Come visit us.
Yeah. I think he is coming. He'll come in March.
That'll be fun.
Cool.
Yeah, should be.
Cool.
And for a theme today, normally she reads the theme, but I thought
What is the theme today?
since it was a solo episode, I was conflicted on should we, because I've been getting, there's if you guys don't know, here in Waco, the podcast scene is exploding thanks to Mike Hamilton and Rogue Media and Dustin Weens and iRadio Waco. Mm-hmm. They're giving a lot of people opportunities to have podcasts. So when we're part of the group that's leading the charge or whatever, so people are asking us questions a lot. So I figured we could either talk about podcasting and being podcasters, or we could say fuck all that and we could talk about social taboos.
Ooh, are you giving us the option?
Yeah.
I'm not good at making decisions.
We'll let the broads decide.
Honestly, I don't know much about being a podcaster. I just show up.
To me, it's kind of boring, but people might find it interesting. I don't know.
I know a lot of people are interested in trying to start their own podcast, so maybe we should talk about that.
Yeah, I would say that. I mean,
All right.
I've been doing
Sure.
podcasts for a little while, so
Yeah.
why not?
Podcast, ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
If you're a fan of our show, before all that, all right, so there's podcasting on an audio level, which is, there's an ocean of podcasts that are like that, and then there's like a pond of video podcasts. And if you're out there wondering, like, should I start a podcast? Should I do video? Should I not? I'll let you know the differences and why you should or shouldn't. So audio, other than just getting your equipment and getting that shit sounding good, it's easy as fuck. You know, anybody could do it.
You could show up in your pajamas.
You
Yeah.
could. You could show up in
Maybe we
your
shouldn't do video anymore.
birthday suit.
birthday suit.
He can just blur out your nips.
And then video podcasting, there's different levels to it. We run a multicam show, up to 4 cameras at a time.
Boom.
The problem with that is when you get into video editing, you got to get into either, most people use Premiere made by Sony or Final Cut X, which I use, and you got to learn how to use those programs. And fucking strap in, bitch, because like when you have a video podcast, you're gonna lose about anywhere from 10 to 20 hours a week.
Let me tell you what our
editing.
nights are like.
Every night for at least
We
2
put our
hours
son
on
to
editing.
bed.
Ooh.
We chat for a good 10 or 15
Getting
minutes.
sexy in here.
And we put on our finest pajamas.
Tell me
We
more.
crawl into bed. And Sean just opens his laptop and...
Put on my headphones.
And then it's getting really late. It's about 11:30, and I'm like, "Are you almost done?" I can't sleep with
And
the
I say-
light on.
I say never.
Oh
our
man, I thought I was gonna get a good story.
No.
Well, we fuck after that pretty much. So.
Hey, as long as you make up for the time missed, it
I
doesn't
like to
matter.
call it making love.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, because I listen to a lot of podcasts, I mean, ours is the only show that I watch that is a video podcast. I only listen to them on my Spotify, and to me, I think it determines on it depends on the content. It depends on how it sounds. It depends a lot of the time. It also depends on how someone's voice. Because I'll start a podcast and I'm like, oh, this is good. But then over time, I'm like, man, their voices are so fucking annoying and I can't
Have
make
you
it.
ever met someone that you're just like, stop talking right
Yeah.
now?
Yes, I
Yeah.
work with some people like that. Not my family. Not
when
my
you're
family.
like married and you hang out as much as we do, like
Are you saying I'm annoying?
no, I'm saying that you know my thoughts when we meet somebody new,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?" You know, I could look at her and she'll be like,
Okay, that sounded like your impression of my dad.
"Shout out to my father-in-law."
Oh boy, awkward.
No, that wasn't him. I could do a good Kevin, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna though. Yeah, so it's a lot of work, you know, with the video. So
Yes, it is.
and the statistics of it is that 80% of all video podcasts that are started fail because people don't deliver consistently and they don't want to make the sacrifices to make all these things happen because it's a lot to do. Because you don't think about it, you think, oh, I'm just gonna make a podcast and I'll upload it, no big deal. Well, you got to have a computer that can handle an hour's worth of footage.
Yep.
You got to have the time to edit for 10 hours, then let it upload on YouTube for like a fucking hour. You got to get your syndicate. We use Libsyn. Shout out to Libsyn.
Do you have to pay for that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. Is, you know, a lot of times I forget what the word is, but like a platform that you have to, like a base platform that you have to post to, you have to pay like a monthly subscription, and sometimes it can be very cheap, and sometimes it's not. It just depends.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's free. So, I mean, with cameras, we like GoPros. Some people like other cameras or whatever. So you got to purchase your cameras. You have to pay for your website. You have to, you also, with the social medias, you got to we hit it every day.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You have to be really good at promoting yourself, and you have to be good at promoting other people, and just keeping that up. Because, you know, even if you post on YouTube every single week consistently, if you don't have a
That's
social
not
media
enough.
footing, nobody's gonna come find your stuff.
And you got to be like true to yourself. No, don't try to fucking be like other people, because people sniff that out real quick. And you got to be creative with it. There's a lot of shows that I like personally, and they half-assed some stuff. And as a fan of the show, I'm like, ugh, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it kills me. We have 3 episodes out of the almost 50 that we've recorded. This is episode 49. 3 of them have audio problems.
Right.
And it fucking kills me.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
And so you have to strive. You know, that's why my good buddy Rick Glassman, he has fucking light years ahead of production compared to us, you know. And it's inspiring, you know. But then I have other heroes that have production less than this that have more followers, and it's, you know. So all I'm saying is, like, it's worth the effort if you want to make it. You know, if you want to make that effort, it's fun as fuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I think that people get discouraged when they don't have just thousands of followers within the first like few episodes.
It's definitely a slow burn.
Yeah, it really is, because one of the podcasts that I listen to, they've been on for 10 years, and it's only been within the last maybe 3 years that they have had enough money to be able to like go on tour with the podcast and to like, you know, pay for all of their stuff and have like that be their job. But they've had it for 10 years. So it's not an overnight sensation type thing. It takes a long time. A lot of it is also word of mouth too.
You don't do it for the money. You do it because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's with anything in life. If you have a dream for something, like whether you know this ever does something or not, like I would still do it because I enjoy doing this. You know, I like coming here. I like chilling. I like once you, for all the fucking millennials out there, once you hit 30, it gets hard to make friends and shit too. So for me, this is like fucking awesome because I make friends every week. You know,
this definitely was an easy segue to make friends in a new town.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really was. That was great.
So what made you decide on the topic? Because I know I've heard people say, "Oh, I want to start a podcast, but I don't know what to talk about."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It was that, and a lot of people come into our studio, and they're like, "Whoa, fuck!" and they're like intimidated by it, you know, because we strive to do the best we can, and
it just has a very specific feel to it.
Yeah, and people even ask if they can use it and stuff sometimes. And it's like, nah, this is our own shit. Nah, son. But you know, when it comes to podcasting, when I first started listening to like all kinds of podcasts, I don't like I would look up, because before I do anything, I research it. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm never gonna do it half-ass. You know what I mean? And all the articles and shit, they're like, you gotta pick this one niche thing. You gotta name it something like, you know, that's very specific to that niche, and you gotta never stray from that niche.
It's a niche.
Niche, whatever.
Tomato.
Bougie. But with the pinky. But then there's another part of me that's just like, I'm gonna do it my way. Yeah. So we named it Necro Electric. Everybody's like, what the fuck is that? You know? But with anything,
I think those were my exact words when you told me.
But it takes on its own life. You know what I mean?
Sure about that?
You know, when the band Korn came out, you know how many people were probably like, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Yeah, with a K.
Yeah.
A backwards K.
I mean, when I saw the posting for...
Wait, is the K backwards in Korn?
I think the R is backwards.
Oh, okay, a backwards R.
Shout out to Korn.
Oh, now I have to look at the logo, because I'm going to be like, which one? I don't know. But when I saw the posting for this job, like I saw Necro Electric, and I immediately was like, oh, that sounds very much up my alley. Very like rock and roll, very like, you know, whatever we talk about. And so then when I finally looked you up, I was like, yep, I'm right. So it's a very strong name. And I would say that too, like, coming up with a name is difficult. I mean, for me anyway, just trying to be like, oh God, what do I want to say? Like, what do I want people to automatically think of when they see the name of the podcast? So yeah, that's a difficult one.
I've always like I said, those articles and a lot of podcasts will advise against it, you know, but I've always been of the thought where like my bands have been called Dark and Fluid, you know, Unconventional Thought Process,
very long,
The Darwin Nightmare, and Last Nail in the Coffin, which Last Nail in the Coffin is probably about the closest to normal. You know? You know, but to me, it's like if you name your podcast like, you know, Cooking with Kelly or whatever, you know, it's like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm not watching that shit. Yeah. It has to be something unique and intriguing, and just don't try to do something because you think that it'll be popular. Just do it because that's what you are and what you're into.
And it's funny because even as popular as podcasting is now, I mean, I would say it's on par with television shows as far as popularity goes, but you'll still have people who are like, what's a podcast? And they look at you like you're retarded, and you're like, no, it's actually like, never mind. Like you don't want to like sit there and explain what a podcast is for an hour, but you're going to have, I've run into people who are like, oh, a podcast. yeah, okay. And they just like treat you like you're crazy. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
let's, what are you doing in your free time?
Yeah.
Well, and with our show too, it's like our show's almost like a TV show. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I hate when I'm like, yeah, we got a podcast, and they're like, oh, my uncle's got a podcast.
My great uncle Jim in the valley.
he does a 15-minute podcast once a month. On
Talks about moonshine.
Yeah, I'm like, son of a bitch. Like I wish they like. I mean, some people call theirs vidcasts, but it just nothing.
Vidcast?
Yeah,
I've never heard of
but
that.
it just hasn't caught on. So
Yeah.
you get lopped in with everything.
Okay.
But fuck that.
Do we have time for a sponsor?
Sure.
Oh, yeah. No, we do.
Why not?
This episode is brought to you by Dark and Jury Clothing. Dark and Jury is an edgy fashion and lifestyle brand that embraces great design and unsurpassed quality. Dark and Jury has quickly gained a following amongst fans of the occult, horror, punk rock, heavy metal, and all-around free thinkers and retailers worldwide without shoving a preachy, trendy, or political message down your throat. So buy the best, fuck the rest. darkandjuryclothing.com.
Boom. We're gonna drop our 2020 line here soon.
Woo!
I've been lagging because we're remodeling and opening our fucking retail store.
Skellington Curiosity.
I like how he said fucking retail store. Like that fucking store already.
We're moving from this warehouse to that one.
Yep.
There's a lot in the works right now.
Yes, there is.
Oh shit! I do not envy you like at all. I hate moving.
Yeah.
That's one of
It's
those
not
things
fun.
that I would rather. I don't know. I think I would rather like slide down a banister of glass and land in alcohol than move again. Like it's one of the worst things. Because I get so frantic. I get so panicky. Like, I'm going to forget something or I'm going to, things aren't going to work out or whatever. And I get like, so.
Yeah, we get like that too, but I've always been under the fucking understanding that you can't just idle.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you hit a certain point and it's not going any further, you got to take it to the next level.
Is that why we move at least every 2 years?
Sure. I don't think we'll be moving our house anytime next.
No, we won't. You're in that house for life.
You were going to die in that house.
Yeah.
We're going to haunt that house.
Yeah, exactly.
Best believe it.
But podcasting is super fun. And then on the, technical side, if you guys have any questions, I can answer it. I know some people ask me what we record our audio through. We use a Tascam. Through a PV mixer. We use AKG mics. Like I said, I edit in Final Cut Pro X. We use Libsyn as our host. Mm-hmm. And if you're wondering what that is, it basically on the audio side, it'll distribute your podcast to every major streaming service that handles podcasts.
And I would also say, programs like Premiere and Final Cut, those are expensive programs and they can be a bitch to learn. So there are programs that are less expensive and or free. Now, the quality of how you record all depends on the mic you have. It depends on how it's captured, because a lot of times people will record and there's a huge echo or it doesn't, I don't know. But if you go to Audacity, you can upload your audio there and you can edit it and it's free, and then you can transfer it wherever you need to. Because I tried doing that for a little while, and you still have to learn it. You still have to teach yourself how to edit and do the right cuts and stuff like that. But that's kind of the cheaper way or the easier way to do that until you can save up money or whatever to get one of those programs.
Yeah, go recycle cans, get the right shit. That's what I say. I used to edit on a PC and it was fucking trash. It would take so long to edit 3 minutes of fucking film. I couldn't imagine doing 40 to an hour on that thing. So get a MacBook Pro.
Oh, I miss having a Mac.
Yeah.
I miss it.
You can get them on fucking Craigslist and Facebook Market used. It doesn't have to be brand new. Just make sure it's at least an i5 core processor.
Yeah. So what are the negative things that you have found? I don't know, not consequences, but the negatives that have come out of podcasting, if there are any.
The only negative is, it depends how you run. I'm a control freak, and I don't play well with others. So instead of getting upset at other people for it not coming out how I want it to come out, I just do it myself. If you want it done right, do it yourself, right? And but other people play well with others, you know what I mean? And you know, so if you don't want to do it yourself, find somebody that's really good at graphics and social media marketing. And also find somebody that's really good at editing and that are willing to do that. You're probably gonna have to pay them. If you don't, put in the work, learn all that stuff, get those creative juices going, and be willing to sacrifice some of your sleep and some fun times. I mean, there's times where we have friends over and I'm like, well, I gotta edit for at least an hour and then I'll come out and hang out. You know, it's like you gotta make the sacrifices, like, because that's the only bad thing about podcasting is if you're not consistent, you're gonna lose your fan base. I don't care who you are. I've seen bigger podcasts be like, oh, I'm going on a hiatus, and then you'll see all their fucking nobody comes back. You know what I mean? Unless you're something real special. So so be consistent. You know, I don't know if it's a negative thing, but people, if you network within your scene and where you live, like we do, we're balls deep in our scene and
balls deep.
Fucking, and
I don't understand the saying balls deep because the balls don't go anywhere.
But if you're deep enough that balls are like hitting something.
But that's like the dick is deep, the balls are on the outside.
I don't know, Kylie. Don't ask me questions.
Should we pull up a diagram?
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
If your balls are slapping taint, then your balls deep.
I don't have a taint.
Okay. What do you mean you don't have a taint? Everyone has a taint.
Jordan's asshole just goes right to her vagina.
Yeah.
All right, this is going off the rails.
It's turning into that taboo talk we were talking about.
Oh, the other negative, some people get territorial in like when it comes to other people's podcasts or like competition. I say throw all that shit out the window, dude. Embrace everybody. You know what I mean?
We haven't run into that here, have we?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I don't want to call anybody out, but like, you know, like there are people that I don't know if it's like a jealousy thing or whatever. They feel territorial and they want to do their thing and they don't want to support or crossover. I've had a couple people.
That's lame.
But if you want advice, make as many friends.
Yes.
It's way better to make friends than enemies. You know what I mean? It's all about, in life in general, from every experience I've ever had, it doesn't matter how fucking...
Now we're just giving straight life advice. So listen up.
But dude, this is something... Because for me, I'm a standoffish person sometimes. You know what I mean? And very much so earlier in life, I was... If somebody looks at me too long, I'm like, what the fuck's your deal? You know? Like, I've always been that person.
Yeah.
And especially in the music scene, you know, like I would be very critical of other bands. You know, if somebody wanted to make friends, I'm like, I got enough friends, dude. You know, like,
got enough friends.
Kick rocks, dog. You know, like.
Oh my god.
But that's the wrong mentality to have, you know, because in life, no matter what you're doing, no matter what it is, it's about who you know.
It's all about who you know.
I've literally seen talentless fucking people just know the right person and have shot to the fucking moon in success, and it's like,
oh yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, you see that in the acting world all the time.
Talk about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nicky Cage, dude. No, I mean even on little things, you know, like our old co-host Susanna and Diego, shout out. They were shopping around for a new pad. They were looking for a new apartment. Mm-hmm. We happened to be friends with an apartment manager.
Oh, okay.
And we just mentioned, hey, why don't you give our friends a shot? You know, like meet with them or whatever.
There you go.
It's just those little tiny connections that get things done. You know what I mean?
Well, and we
So-
can all learn from each other too. Like you learn new things, and you, like you said, you meet new people. I mean, I've met more new people in the last however many months I've been doing this than I have in, the last 3 years that I've lived in Waco. Like I just so many new people. And then you go to an event and you're like, oh, I know you from this person or that person, or I saw you on that or whatever. And it just, the networking is really, really cool. That's the coolest part I think about, or one of the coolest things about this.
The funniest part is like people are starting to know us that we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we were at dinner and some dude came walking up and he was like, hey, you guys are Necro Electric, right? We're like,
That
what
hasn't
the fuck?
happened to me yet.
At Walmart, remember I had that couple?
Oh yeah, the Walmart.
Yeah. They call me Skeleton.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a plus side. Because like once you start like putting out stuff and you're having a good time, people feel that vibe and they start having a good time, and maybe it inspires other people to do stuff, and then you start getting recognized and cool stuff happens. Like our live show, our live 50th episode airs next week.
Woo.
And when I first wanted to do that, I was talking to a few of my heroes in podcasting that I'm lucky enough to be friends with, and they all told me, you're gonna do a live event for your 50th, man? Like nobody's coming to that.
Yeah.
And
Fuck them.
Showed you.
Check out the people that came. It was great.
And
And thank you again to everyone that came to support us.
It was really
amazing.
fun.
yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh, no.
Oh, bye.
It was my camera.
All right, and that's the kind of shit you got to deal with.
Yeah.
Troubleshooting.
Boom.
Camera's not working, sound being off. And sometimes you don't even know it until you've already done the whole episode.
Or until you get home and you load that fucking footage, and then you're like, no.
There's been so many times where he's like loading the footage in bed or something. He's just like, fuck, motherfucker, goddamn, like, what's going on? I'm like in the shower, I could hear him yelling.
Yeah. Oh, man.
But then the plus sides are, dude, it's super fun. Super fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Like, you guys like coming here every week and doing this shit,
I
right?
didn't at first, to be honest.
Yeah, she was camera shy.
So I honestly had never really heard my voice even recorded before.
Yeah.
Like I don't go in the front of the camera. I'm not like a stand. I
Or
don't
does
talk
she?
in front of people. The live 50th show, that was hard for me.
That
was really hard
You
for
did
me.
so good, though. I was so
Thank
proud of
you.
you. You were talking and interacting like you were just so natural up there.
I was trying.
Yeah. No, you did great.
But yeah, I mean, for those people who are like, oh, but I'm camera shy, like, you just gotta practice.
Yeah.
It gets way easier. You do it a couple times and it gets easier every time.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, no, I love coming here. This is the highlight of my week.
Yeah.
And also because I like to talk. So it gives me a good outlet
Yeah.
to talk sometimes.
And I
so.
get a date night out of it.
Oh, yeah.
After this, we usually go eat or something if we have time.
Some Mexican food.
Dirty to me. Tacos.
Do you guys need to be alone? I can leave.
Leave the room, Jordan. Give us 2 minutes.
2 minutes? Damn.
I don't need that long. So I don't know. What do you think? I think I answered everything anybody's asked me about this shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Do we have time for another ad?
Yeah. This episode is also brought to you by Mod Ministry. Mod Ministry merch creates for the edgy woman, the kind of woman who works hard but plays much harder, who embraces femininity but tests the societal limits. We are not for the faint of heart. We are bold. We are beautiful. Check out the Mod Ministry Etsy page for handmade harness lingerie. 5-star rated seller since 2014.
Strap it on.
I have an event coming up.
Yay!
So I will be selling some Mod Ministry merch at the Black Daisy Boutique
Shout out.
February 8th. It's a sip and shop. There will be wine. There will be milk bottle cookies.
Ooh.
Delicious.
I still don't know what that is, but
They're amazing. The best cookies you'll ever have.
You'll have to get
Seriously.
some for him.
Yes. Actually, I brought you one last time.
did I eat it?
I don't remember if you ate it. Did I eat it?
I don't think I
had
ate
good
it.
intentions. I would have ate it. Yeah, so I'll be there February 8th. It starts at 6. It'll be fun. Come to Black Daisy Boutique.
Yeah,
Chinese
you tagged
food.
me in that shirt, and I instantly was like, I need to be in this group right now.
Yes.
Right
Yes.
now, because I need that shirt.
She has a great little VIP Facebook group where she posts a lot of her shirts and things that she has for sale. So go follow Black Daisy Boutique.
Boom. And they have a retail store in China Springs here
Yes.
in Texas. And I guess for the last part of this, with our 50th episode, it was kind of a celebration.
Fuck, is that down?
That is SpaceX.
No, it's not. That's way
Or a
too
train.
loud.
It's either SpaceX or a train.
Holy shit.
The train usually has a horn.
It is very...
This is really creepy. The fucking door is shaking.
I don't
It's
know.
SpaceX. If you guys don't know, we live near...
The shuttle
we live
just
near-
landed next door.
No, they test the engines. Yeah, that was SpaceX. We live... That's like something... I don't even like hear it anymore. Because you can,
weird.
You can like feel it at our house sometimes when they
Yeah, I
do
don't
that
hear
shit.
it at our house.
We live near Fort Hood, so we always hear them testing weapons, and it is super loud, and it makes my dogs bark, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So,
Shout out to Elon Musk for fucking up our podcast.
woo! Thank you.
But I was saying, like, the 50th episode was kind of a celebration of last year. We started the podcast in March, made it all the way through. We had tons of fun guests. I want to thank out all of them from like Megan and
Don't
Caitlin.
try to name them because I don't want to forget anyone. And there are
people's
so
feelings.
many, and we just thank every single one of you.
Yeah, all right.
It's been a blast.
Well, what was your favorite from the last
Now
year?
you're making me pick favorite.
Yeah, you got,
I thought you said don't make any enemies. If I don't say my best friend, then she's gonna be mad.
all right. Ooh, but who's your best friend? Is it? I bet it starts with a B, but which B
It
is
does. Brianna.
it? Okay.
All right.
Make me say it out loud.
I had a lot. I mean, fuck, Adam was on, Rick Glassman. I don't know, some of the funny... Scuba Velli was fucking hilarious every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marco Lopez was hella funny. Prescription, Oni-chan. Fuck, everybody was good.
But on the 50th episode,
Russell,
we do hand out
Weston.
an award.
Yes.
Don't say to who. You'll find out next week.
Oh, I think anybody that follows already knows because
Okay.
he posted about it. Scuba
Okay,
Velli
Scuba
got
Velli.
our Guest of the Year award.
She tried. You tried really hard to make it
tried.
suspenseful.
It was hard picking, but Scuba Velli went above and beyond with his Macho Velli, Santa Velli.
Santa Valley.
Yeah.
That was good. I don't
I don't
know.
know. Cheers to a fucking another awesome year
Yeah.
as we
Let's do it.
take it higher. Since you jumped on, what's been your favorite one?
Oh God, I really love the girls from the What's Your Excuse podcast, Megan
out.
and Caitlin. They're really, really cool chicks. And I've become friends with both of them, so I find it to be very cool that way. So that was just, I don't know, that was like my second episode, maybe.
Yeah, it was really early. for
Yeah,
them,
and so just it was very relaxed and chill and fun, and we laughed a lot. So yeah, that's probably my favorite.
And they're firing their podcast back up. They were on hiatus for a while, but I don't know if they're relaunching it or they're just continuing, but they hooked up with Rogue Media.
Cool,
Yup.
excited
awesome.
about that.
What was it? So you had podcast with Oni-chan and others and your own self before. What was the difference when you came here?
Oh, I mean, I love you guys at Oni-chan, but just the damn professionalism.
Hear that, Oni?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved doing when I did Dumpster Fire Cinema with Aaron. That was a lot of fun, and then doing stuff with the Oni-chan Power Hour was always fun. But like, I don't know, just the organization. Like I thrive on organization. I'm like you. Like I'm a control freak. I like to know when stuff is happening, how it's going to happen, and I'm also one that's like, just let me do it, okay? I'll do it, and I'll do it right. So
She called you a control freak. How do you feel about that?
he called himself a control freak earlier.
I'm not going to deny it.
So I don't know. I like the way that it flows. I like the format, the formula. Like it's all very, I don't know. It makes me, the structure makes me feel comfortable. Yeah. So
Nice.
But
well, hopefully that wasn't too boring overall. Hopefully you guys enjoyed some of
If you
that.
have any more questions, drop them in the comments.
yep.
Like we'll come back and answer them later.
Do you want to get into some life in the comments?
Sure. The first one is from Henry Stensby from YouTube. First, I love the podcast, guys, and I wanted to know, does Sean play games, and what system does he play on, and what's your gamer tag?
Well, for one, my name is spelled Sean.
Aww.
Irish son. And then, yeah, I play like every once in a while. I definitely don't play as much as I used to. I have an Xbox, and to be honest, I don't remember exactly what my gamer tag is. I know it's Sean Skellington, but I don't know if there's like underscores or if it's just that. But I'll put it right here. Boom. And I don't, like I said, I don't really play that much anymore. If I do play, it's just Destiny with Adam, the duffel bag porn guy, and Mike TM. So, but yeah, if I'm ever on there, hit me up.
Cool.
Next one's from YouTube, from Lewis Heatley, and it just says boobs.
There's
What episode was that from?
a couple sets here, so I don't know.
Boobs. What episode was this on? Boobs.
I don't know. I got it from the notification thing.
Oh.
I'm assuming that we've had a couple episodes where the Mod Ministry ones, we talk about boobs.
Yeah. There was one like 2 episodes ago where I was wearing a harness and I was like, I'm wearing it. And you're like,
Yeah,
look at
maybe.
those titties.
Yeah.
So
That might have been it. But yes, boobs.
And she's known to flash a set of boobs now and then on Instagram.
Not on camera.
Some major boobage. All right, you want to do some shout outs?
Yeah, I want to do a shout out to Unshakable Shakes at Union Hall here in Waco. Holy shit. That was the best shake I've ever had. It was huge, and there were cookies and whipped cream, and oh my God, like it was so delicious. And it's like it's in, I guess you call it a cafeteria or like a food court. It's like a food court.
Yeah.
So there's
hall.
a whole bunch of other stuff, and it's just this little tiny place, but oh man, so good. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and get another one. I gotta try all of them now.
And that's at Union Hall on Franklin, right?
Yeah, they have
So
like
if you're ever in Waco, go check it out.
they have like Coco Ramen and Whiz Bang Burgers and all sorts of shit. So for sure.
Nice.
We should go there for dinner. But dinner's just skip to dessert. YOLO.
Right? That's what I did.
Yeah, I guess this episode, just shout out to Dustin Weems, Scuba Valley, Oni-chan, Keep Waco Loud for supporting us on next week's live taping episode of our 50th.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And shout out to Black Daisy Boutique for working with Kylie and our new friends at Living Dead Threads.
Ooh.
Check them out. They're what do you call it?
They're what?
Upcycling.
Upcycled.
Yeah, upcycled clothes. They look dope.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'll
She
definitely
like
check that out.
adds like prints onto them and like, or she like acid washes them and stuff. You know, bleaches them.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the Sweet Station in downtown next to the silos. They have all the candies that you want.
Ooh,
And
they do.
for some reason we support them and they support us because there's like super family friendly store.
Yeah.
But hey, fuck it, right? So yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Brazos Theater, who is now going to be our new neighbor at Skellington Curiosities.
Woo!
Yeah, so I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of those people a lot more. Also,
Cool.
aren't Katie and Jacob doing something there?
Yeah, Keep Waco Loud are doing a monthly stand-up show there.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think Katie's actually doing. I think they had one on like February 8th. So
Damn it.
next weekend maybe.
That's when I have my Black Daisy thing.
It'll be at night though.
At night.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Were you listening to me, Jordan? Jesus.
I failed. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
Yep.
See you at our live 50th taping show next week. Later.
Bye.